Over the past few months, I've noticed something repeating in the comments. Many of you describe yourselves as deeply empathetic, sensitive, thoughtful people. Yet somehow, you're also the ones who seem to get hurt the most by partners, by friends, sometimes even by family. You get pushed to the point where you start doubting your own memory. Your secrets are weaponized against you. And somehow you end up labelled as the unstable one. And you keep asking the same question. Why do they do this? Don't they care how much it hurts? We usually call these people toxic or manipulative. But psychology gives us a clearer framework. Certain dark personality traits. And today, we're going to take a closer look at what's actually happening inside their minds. The biggest mistake we make with manipulative people. When you deal with someone like this, there's one major mistake most empathetic people make. You assume they're like you. You think, if I explain myself clearly enough, if they understand my pain, they'll stop. But that's not always how their system works. Psychology describes 4 traits that often show up together in these patterns. First, narcissism. From the outside, they often look confident, lively, charming. But that confidence is paper thin. The moment the applause stops, the second they feel criticised, the mask cracks. What shows up next is rage. Not strength, but deep insecurity trying to protect itself. 2. Machiavellianism. Here, strategy takes over. A narcissist reacts in the moment. A Machiavellian waits. They can plan for weeks or months if needed. People become pieces on a chessboard. If lying serves the plan, they lie. Morality isn't part of the calculation. Third, psychopathic tendencies. Impulsivity is high, guilt is low. That internal brake pedal most people have, the one that says, "Stop, this will hurt someone," it barely exists. Risk isn't frightening, it's stimulating. Your pain doesn't register as a reason to slow down. 4. Everyday sadism. And this is the hardest one to accept. Sometimes the behaviour looks pointless, little digs, humiliations, cruel jokes. But there's a payoff. Seeing you struggle can feel rewarding to them. Not connection, stimulation. Born or made? This part is uncomfortable. Some of these traits come from environment. Some are biological. Certain people are born less reactive to fear and stress. Others grow up in cold, unpredictable homes and learn, trust gets you hurt, control keeps you safe. Together, this creates a personality structure that resists change. If they lack empathy, how do they hit exactly where it hurts? Here's the key. Most manipulative people don't lack awareness, they lack emotional resonance. They don't necessarily feel what you feel, but they can read you extremely well. They see your insecurities. They sense your fears. They understand your buttons. And instead of protecting them, they learn how to press them. That isn't closeness, that's control. Why they keep choosing people like you. This part can sting, but it's important. You weren't chosen at random. They notice that you try to understand, forgive easily, always look for the good, avoid taking up too much space. If you struggle with boundaries, you become high yield, so they run a small test. A tiny disrespect, a broken promise, a dismissive comment. If you justify it, if you apologize instead, you pass the selection phase and the trap closes. How the traumatic bond forms. If they were cruel all the time, you'd leave, so they mix it, cold, then warm, cruel, then perfect. Your brain becomes addicted to the unpredictability. Maybe this time it will go back to how it was. That feeling is not love, it's your nervous system hooked on the cycle. Gaslighting and confusion. Over time, they deny what happened. They twist conversations. They label you too sensitive, dramatic, imagining things. And slowly, you stop trusting your own perception, which is exactly the point. Confused people are easier to control. So what do you do? The turning point is this. Stop trying to fix them with understanding. You're playing for connection. They're playing for control. Seeing that clearly breaks the spell. You don't need rage, you need distance, mentally and emotionally. When they explode, see a fragile ego. When they lie, see the strategy. When they poke at your pain, see the power game. None of it defines your worth. They targeted you not because you're weak, but because you carry something they don't. Light, warmth, depth. And that light belongs to you. This video is just the map. In the next one, we'll talk about practical tools, setting boundaries, the grey rock method, and breaking the trauma bond. For now, breathe. Clarity is always the first step toward freedom.